What's up, YouTube? If you're new here, my name is J.R. Smith. I'm an incoming first-year medical student at the Mayo Clinic Alex School of Medicine, and as you can see, I have a YouTube channel. Now, I didn't always want to be a content creator or a YouTuber. It was a pretty sudden decision, and although it did stem from a specific moment in time, more on that later, I have come to realize a lot of the additional benefits there are to being a YouTuber or having a YouTube channel. Even if this may not necessarily be my top priority all the time and I may not be a full-time YouTuber, I could be focused on other stuff like medical school. But I've really come to appreciate what YouTube can provide not only to consumers of content, but to creators of content as well. And with everything that's going on in the current kind of social climate that we're in, with a lot of race issues being brought to light and a lot of efforts that so many of us are taking to address the structural and systematic issues that America is facing right now, I think this is the best time for me to release this video. So what really jump-started this whole thing was a stat that I read when I was applying for medical school. The AAMC recently reported that despite efforts by medical schools to increase diversity in applicants, the number for one demographic, Black men, have remained stagnant for nearly 40 years. They reported that in 1978, 1,410 Black men applied for medical school. And now when the AAMC published this article, this was in 2014, and then during that year, they reported that 1,337 Black men applied for medical school. So over the course of nearly 40 years, the number of Black men applying for medical school actually decreased. And when I read that, that absolutely blew my mind. Now, I'm a firm believer that as a child, you can only aspire to be what you see. And it's easier to gravitate towards fields where you see people where you can find some form of commonality with succeed at high levels in that field. For the most part, certain industries are so dominated by a given story. What I mean by this is if you look at a certain industry and if you zoom in at the top most successful people in that industry, you'll start to realize commonalities in their stories, or for lack of better words, you'll basically start to realize a lack of diversity. For example, African Americans make up 13.4% of the American population. However, they make up over 70% of NFL and NBA players, and only 5% of physicians. So it's no surprise that as a child, I wanted to go to the NBA. Unfortunately, I would come to realize that just having the name J.R. Smith does not qualify me to automatically have a free ride to the league, but my mind was so focused on success being seen in the athletic realm that I just found whatever sport that I was best at and pursued that with everything that I had, with the goals of becoming a professional athlete. Because as a child, the people who I would admire and see succeed at the highest levels were for the most part professional athletes. Now, of course, not all Black children want to go to the NBA or compete in the Olympics, and there are a lot of young Black boys and girls who do grow up only wanting to be doctors or lawyers or politicians. And I can't emphasize this enough. There are so many other factors outside of a person's race that ultimately make up a person's story and allow people to resonate with them and find inspiration in their narrative. But once I started to realize the lack of diversity in the field of medicine, it motivated me to share my story as well as document my journey pursuing this career through a non-traditional lens. And again, this stretches so much further than race. Yes, I'm a Black man, but I'm also beginning medical school as a married man. I took a few gap years, I was a collegiate athlete, and I didn't even know I wanted to become a doctor until I was already in college. These characteristics do not usually describe the typical physician, and as a result, people who may share similar stories to me may not find the original interest in pursuing a career in medicine. And I believe that just seeing somebody that you can connect with, whether that involves ethnicity, marital status, background, or hobbies, pursuing a career that you once have never even considered, it can potentially motivate you to do the same. Ultimately, representation and diversity in any industry is essential to that industry reaching its potential. And in the field of medicine, where the lack of representation has led to so many health disparities that our country struggles with, it's that much more important that people from different walks of life pursue careers in medicine. So again, I thought no better way to play my role in helping to address the lack of representation in the field of medicine than just to merely document and share my story and my journey, and hopefully I'll be able to motivate and inspire other students, and maybe one day the field of medicine will resemble the beautifully diverse people that we're called to serve. So yes, starting this channel did stem from the desire to impact other people's lives, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how much of an impact this channel has had on me personally. Whether you are a huge social media person or not, social media as a whole gives us the opportunity to engulf ourselves in a given community. And when I started Evolving Medic, I was fortunate enough to find other channels that I would draw inspiration from, like Dr. Antonio Webb or Ali Abdaal. And it has given me the opportunity to engage and interact with so many different pre-med and medical students, people who have been blessing me with so much encouragement and supportive comments, and who send questions for us to talk through together. I've developed relationships with people in varying stages of their lives and in varying stages of their medical training, and I have felt a sincere community come together, and to be a part of this community really means a lot to me. So for all of you who watch these videos and interact with me either here or on Instagram, the impact that you've had on my life has been incredible, and the supportive community that we're building is something that I value more than I can even put into words. The motivation I get just from interacting with you hopefully translates into motivation and inspiration that I can give back to you through these videos. With medical school starting right around the corner, I am so excited, but not only excited to get going on my career, but to be able to share every step of the way with you all as we continue to grow and develop this community. Creating a YouTube channel offers so many great benefits, and if you're thinking about doing it, I'd say just do it. The people that you'll meet and interact with will have a lasting impact on your life, and you'll find yourself in this natural cycle of inspiration where the people that you're meeting are inspiring you to create videos which will then inspire them. I hope knowing why I became a medical student YouTuber gives you a little more insight into who I am, and also shows you just how much this community that we're building really means to me. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. For everybody who has been watching my videos since the beginning, thank you. And if you're new here, consider tapping that subscribe button and joining this community. New videos every week. But until the next one, keep evolving, and I'll see you guys next time.